All right, hopefully the third time is the charm. So, today I had a high, or I guess not today, but over the past few days and past couple weeks, I've gotten a lot of DMs requesting exactly how to follow the alerts and all that good stuff, how to best apply my channel to their trading. Then I held a poll in my channel, which had a great result. So, I'm glad to come out with this video and help a lot of you at the same time, knocking a lot of birds out with one stone. So let's get through this. Please excuse these lines. This is the third time I've done this video. One time with audio issues, second time because I don't know how to speak English sometimes. So I'm really got to do this for a third time. Haha. But let's go back to this. So gonna use NVIDIA as an example. I happen to find a really clean play on this that kind of covers a lot of different topics all in one that also lead to other videos and parts of the guides that I think you guys need to touch up on. So how to reach this strategy. You can also click this level or this little link here, and it'll take you to snapshots of my guide. This is all from guide number 3. These links here that exist, those are actually clickable. It takes you to all these videos here, which are now all public. They used to not be. But you need to start with that for 1. 2, the videos. 3, you need to check out Iron Hands. The Iron Hands Part 1 and Part 2. And then there's a few other price action videos on my channel I can link later on that'll help everyone else. But touch up on those. That's a lot of bunch of different educational content, you know, perspectives, giving you written content, video content, all that good stuff. And now I'm going to give you guys this. Hopefully this will help clear up a lot more. So let's go back to where I was. Right here. All right, so on this exact call out, we were talking about NVIDIA. The break above posted that morning, which I post this watch list every morning, pretty close to about 30 minutes before markets open. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. Kind of depends on how quick I go through the watch list and if I have any problem finding tickers. But I get up pretty early, so I don't think that'll be an issue. But the break above is 535.75. It's a long alert, so target's 540. So seeing this alert, we need to go check the chart first. We don't just get in on a call because it says long alert. I'll get into that too. So we go check the chart. When that alert is hit, that's because this candle hit it. So that doesn't mean just get in, and this is exactly why, because you don't know what candle's next when you do that. If you want to do that and set stop losses, be my guest, but I don't recommend it. You go to check the chart. What do you see? Well, it kind of already had rising volume here. Let me clear these lines. I know a lot of you like to hear me talk about volume. Elevator music. All right, so let's start with the whole day first, and then I'll get to the alert. So day opens. It's kind of looking bearish because you see a lot of red candles. You see a pickup in seller volume. You have seller control right at open. That's big. Ends up dropping. Doesn't actually touch our level, so that kind of makes you think like, all right, is it gonna reverse here? Is it gonna keep picking up? What do you get next? You have a drop in buyer volume. So nothing big yet. It hasn't crossed a major level like up here. It has taken up both the the second and third candles, so that's big. So you need to be looking for a big pickup, recovery, any kind of pattern. And what do you get? You get a seller breakout, but it's more of a continuation. It didn't take up 50% of this candle. It didn't have, it ended up being level with this. So you actually have not what a 3-bar play normally is, but you have a recovery 3-bar play, a reversal 3-bar play. Perfectly clean right there, and this is why pattern recognition breaks into this so much. It isn't just let's go trade, you know, patterns. Let's only trade pre-markets. It's all combined into one. It's all the same strategy. The more of these different videos and different concepts you apply from how we post them, and you combine them all into one, it ends up being the biggest, highest probability trade you could ever make. The only thing that ends up making this strategy not high probability is the trader itself. And that's like emotionally exiting, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to look at. And that's why I love this strategy, because this strategy teaches you reasoning. It teaches you how to trade. So what do we get? Volume rising, volume rising, volume rising. So we got 3 in a row. We're about here now. So the alert hit right here as soon as that candle went up, popped back down a little bit, and then now it's going towards our target. What do we see besides that? We have our rise in volume, so you're about right here. What do you have now? You have a drop in volume. This is going to scare some of you. This is usual. You don't just get flying rising volume. Now, if you do see that, awesome. I'm very proud you got to catch such a lucky play, an amazing opportunity. But you're not always going to get. It's not always going to be pretty. So you got a drop in volume. That doesn't make it a bad trade. It's still up. What do you have next? Rising buyers. All right. So our target just hit. So what price did right here is it went up to here, went back down, chilled here, or went down, you know, all that good stuff. Hit our target. This is where the bot alerted. This is where it said target hit, take profits. Now, usually I set multiple targets, but I only alert the first target. That is because I want you guys to be able to go check it yourself. So, how could you have known to hold it past this target? It's a psychological level. That is why. 545, 540. Those are both psychological levels. Those are very strong levels. The strongest three on this chart are 530, 535, 540, 545, 550 up here. Those are the strongest psychological levels. Every number is a psychological level, like 530, 531, 532, but the strongest are the zeros and fives. So that would have been a good little hint in the back of your head if you ended up, you know, selling 75% on the first target and holding a little higher to 25%, or holding the rest of the table's money is what I should have said. End up pushing there, so that's a good little tip too, because you had dropping sellers. That's big. That's continuation. So you actually kind of have a flag kind of forming there, a 4-bar play, 5-bar play, however you want to call it. Continuation, though. That's what you can call it if you don't know the names of anything. Just call it continuation. You know that's what it is. You have rising buyers, dropping sellers, rising buyers again. All right, so we're up here now. What's keeping you to hold the 545? You had a breakout of sellers, but that's normal. Didn't even take up anything. Actually ended up kind of holding 50% of that candle. Didn't really drop lower. This one drops lower. Lowering sellers, though, so there's no interest in continuing it down. Breakout in buyers. So please refer to volume. See how much I was able to go through that and able to apply it as like a language. I applied pattern recognition, volume, price action, pre-market levels all in one little video. And that's what the BB system is. So I'm really glad to go through this video with you guys. I also post results on all these plays every single day because it doesn't just help you guys, but it also helps me because it's just a good repetition to go through. Kind of like making your bed type deal. But it did, in fact, play the system to the T. Yeah, see? I had like a rising wedge marked once it got to the top. Once it got past 545, it lost its gas. Now, the ATR of this stock, the fuel, gave out at that rising wedge. It decided to slow down now. That doesn't mean it's just going to start tumbling back down to here. It could. It's NVIDIA, but it was probably a little tired after all the fuel it just used to get all the way up here. So, of course, it's going to drop back down to one of our levels and just sit into a range. What you guys can do for the next day is use these levels as a range. So that's why I really like using these levels. See, let's apply this to over here. It's the same levels. That's first target, second target. What do you get? This was about high of day. You get the rejection from here, ends up going all the way to our break below. That's exactly what I ended up using for our levels today. I ended up using levels to play the same exact setup. It's the same setup. Rising sellers, dropping continuation, rising sellers. They picked it up right here. Didn't take it past a pretty strong point at open. Ended up dropping below our level again with more rising volume. So this kind of said, yo, you need to keep your eye on this. This came back up, had weakness, dropped down, gave you the best play ever. Ended up giving you a 3-bar play right here. Very great play. And that's what I want to transfer over to you guys is these levels aren't just something you use one day. They're actually able to use over the whole week as long as they aren't like, you know, $100 up in the air. But even then, you're still using the levels from before, which actually made me stumble upon volume profile, but I'll touch up on that in another video. I'm really glad to have gone over this, though, because this is a very good example of how to trade the system as well as how to utilize my bot as best as you possibly can. But I'll continue to keep posting results on all my plays. I do every single day in case you have any questions. If you still need any help with any of this, please reach out to me. We have all the resources in the world to get this system down. It is going to take time. Don't just think you're going to get this over the first 5 days. It is going to take you a little bit of time to get used to it, especially if you've never used it or heard of it before. But I do highly recommend everyone here to go through that and utilize the system as best you can. It's very high probability. It works on a daily basis. Works on a lot of tickers on a daily basis. So that's the cool part. The reason you guys see me post about the same 10 to 20 tickers is because of that reason. These are the ones I'm most comfortable with. I almost know their levels in the back of my hand at this point. So when I go to these charts, I can just glide through my list. And I know that the stocks that I'm posting have great ATR. They have a lot of movement in them. So I know that if I do make a loss, I'm okay with it because I can review it, I can go back through it, analyze it, better myself through it. But please take all this into consideration, all the pattern, all the volume, all the videos we put out, all the guides, all the information we have put out for this system. For you to say we don't have enough to learn this is just, that's not right. So I really hope this video helps anyone who requested this, and if you guys still need anything, please tag me.